Hi, kindergarten, it's Miss Keeley back again. This week we are going to start a new project. This one kind of has a couple different topics to it. On the screen right here, you are looking at a huge sculpture by the artist Jeff Koons. If you can tell what it is a giant balloon animal dog. Um, I'm going to attach a video that shows you a little bit more of his sculpture. He has actually a bunch of these different balloon animal dogs kind of all around different places. And so I'm going to attach a video and there's going to be someone kind of explaining a little bit more about this specific artwork. Um, and so here is some pictures of him, just so you can get an idea of who he is. He would be considered a contemporary artist because he is still alive today. You could say that he is a pop artist. And I know some of these words you are probably like, I have no idea what you are saying. That is okay. We are going to probably talk a little bit more about it when you guys are in first and second grade. But just to give you like a short explanation, a pop artist is an artist that creates things that are popular in the world or like popular in culture. So you could say that like a balloon animal, it's like a thing that everyone can recognize and see. It would be a popular kind of like childhood party, birthday party type um, uh, object. Here also is more of his artwork. If you know who Popeye is, Popeye the Sailor Man, he recreated it into this sculpture. And then here is another one of his sculptures, and it's a ballerina. So that's just to give you a little bit of a background. And so what we're going to be doing is we are going to be creating our own balloon animal, um, but on a piece of paper. So if you think back to, let's see, what project was it for you guys? When we learned about form, that fancy word form, and we learned about those different 3D shapes. I'm drawing a blank on what project you guys did. Oh, you guys did those really cool kind of like paper sculptures where you took those long strips of papers and you folded them and made them kind of jump out of your paper. That was form. So his 3D sculpture is considered form. It takes up space. So we kind of think about form again, um, but ours is going to be kind of flat 2D form, and it's just going to be recreated on a piece of paper. Okay. So sorry, my video paused out for a second. So what you're going to need for this week's project is I took a red piece of like construction paper. What we're going to be doing right now in this first step is just drawing something to cut out. So if you have a piece of like scrap paper or like thicker type of paper, I would suggest grab that. Okay, so you'll need just like a scrap paper to cut something out on, and then a pencil and a piece of white drawing paper. And that would probably be it for this first step of the project. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to construct our balloon animal dog. And so what you're going to do is you are going to start by drawing an oval. Remember, an oval is kind of a longer circle. You don't want this to be too big or you don't want them to be too small. I will try to attach, maybe if I can figure out a way to maybe attach a way for you guys to see like a good reference size. But I mean, you can kind of see what size that is when it's compared to my hand, but I'm just creating an oval and then I'm cutting it out, okay? So I'm gonna fast forward this. So now I have my oval, and then we're gonna take a piece of blank white paper, and sorry that there's a bunch of tinfoil and water. That's for the next step of the project next week. But so we are going to start to construct our balloon animal dog. So first thing that you're gonna do is you're going to take that oval and we want to put this first oval kind of going horizontal side to side, not too high on our paper, not exactly in the middle, a little bit up above the middle. I'm sorry, it's so bright with that light shining through. I'm trying to block it. Um, but a little bit above middle, and you are going to trace it, and you want to make sure you leave a little space over here on the edge of emptiness. And so we have our first one. Okay, we're going to be drawing 7 of these ovals, and this can be really tricky. So if you have somebody at home with you that maybe wants to do this project along with you, definitely ask, because this could be a little bit tricky lining all this up. But it does look really cool, and I know kindergarten you can do it at this point in the year. Here's another one that we're drawing, and it's going to be connected just at the end, a little bit on the top, and it's going to go vertical, straight up and down. Then we're going to have our third one. It's going to be touching both of our first 2 ovals that we drew, and it's going to kind of go down at this diagonal angle. Okay? And same thing, we're just kind of lightly tracing it. You guys have had a lot of experience with tracing things this year. So if you are at home with someone and you say that you can't do it, think you've done a lot of projects this year where you've had to trace something by holding it down with one hand and tracing it around with a pencil. The tricky part would just be lining it up, so that's where you could ask someone for help. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3. I had another one that went horizontal down, and then here is another. This is my 5th one, and it's kind of going down. This is the leg of my balloon animal dog. This one's going to kind of go up from that middle section. This is going to be our tail area. And then our other leg. And you should have 7 ovals all together, and you're creating this little balloon animal. So you can kind of see the shape so far. Now we're going to draw freehand just a little triangle shape for that little balloon animal nose, and then this kind of tall, curving, almost like a really skinny rainbow shape for the end of the tail, because if you've ever seen a balloon animal in real life, it has this like part of the balloon that wasn't really inflated that much. And then you can just go back and erase different areas that overlapped a little bit. And that is your dog so far, okay? Sorry, I was just thinking about cutting this short for you guys, but I think you guys will be able to handle a little bit more of the project. So what we're going to do next is you can either take a black crayon or a black Sharpie. We've kind of done similar things where we're tracing over in other projects during this at-home learning. But so you're going to take some sort of black. And actually, if you don't want to necessarily use black, you can choose something else, a different color of your choice. I just always like to do black because I think it looks really nice and neat. But you are going to trace your balloon animal, everything you just drew in black Sharpie. Remember, or marker or whatever you have. If you are using Sharpie, remember to put something underneath your paper so it doesn't bleed through. And I'm going to fast forward this because I am just tracing over everything that we just drew. Okay, I'm taking an eraser, erasing all my pencil marks. Again, that helps with craftsmanship, making our artwork look nice and neat. And then this next part can be a little bit tricky because you can't necessarily see it, what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to skip to the part where I've later figured out I probably should have shown you this in the beginning, and then I'll go back. If we take I had my red oval cutout, you are going to take a white crayon. I'm hoping everyone has a white crayon at home. If not, please email me and I can think of a different option. But you are going to take a white crayon and you are going to shade one side of your oval. And I kind of marked on here, and I'm going to rewind it and go back. But you're just taking that white crayon and you're shading just like a little sliver of one side, so it should look like this. And the reason why I'm doing it on this red cutout oval is because when I do it on my actual paper, you're not going to be able to see it, okay? So I'm going to press play, but I'm actually going to rewind it. And so I'm taking my white crayon and I start with this first one, and I'm going all on this edge, okay? And I'm pressing kind of hard, and I'm trying to fill it in nice and evenly as best as I can along this edge. I'm then going to, on my paper, I'm going to draw a little arrow just to mark that that's the side that I shaded the white in. You do not need to draw this arrow. That is just for you to see, okay? On my next one, I'm shading the top part of this oval, okay? All with the white crayon, I put a little arrow to show you which side I shaded it on. I shaded a little bit of this top area. This next one, I'm going again, kind of the top side over here. I'm going to fast forward this. I put a little arrow pointing that it's this side. Okay, and this is a very tricky project for you. So that's why I'm saying if you have a family member at home who wants to do one with you, or you have a sibling who wants to do it with you, definitely ask them. But I do think you guys are very capable of doing this. Okay, this side I did the right hand side, drew a little arrow to show you. The next middle section I do the top area, draw my line again to show you. We have two more. This is going to be the right side again. It's kind of blocked, sorry, by my pause button. And then this top side on the last tail area. Okay. And again, here's all the arrows showing you what side I did it on. And there's a very important reason why we chose to do it in white, because we're going to be painting, and I'm going to go show you guys some cool alternative ways to painting at home. Okay. I'm sorry that this is such a long video and that there is kind of a lot of steps in it. I think you guys can handle it. Let me know if you do need a little bit more extra time. You guys have a full week to get this done. Email me if you have any questions about the project, or if you don't have a certain material, and I will try my best to think of a solution for you. But good luck. This is tricky, but I know you guys can do it, and I cannot wait to see how they come out. You do not need to send me a picture of this week's steps unless, of course, you want to. But yeah, I will chat with you guys in the next week's video. All right, bye.